Good day and thanks for joining me in this edition of the news on Canada English. I'm called Crystal Catala. We begin with the major stories. The President Paul Biya will be addressing the youth of Cameroon this evening at the eve of the celebration of the 50th edition of the National Youth Day. Rehearsals for March Past are over, as in a couple of hours, youth in Cameroon will be celebrating the National Youth Day. And out of Cameroon, children in Ethiopia are victims of malnutrition. The country has called on the international community to step up measures. Those were the headlines, the details right ahead. Good day once more. A gang of 3 drug dealers have been arrested by elements of the 8th Police District in Douala. They were caught during their search operation at Carrefour F, a neighborhood here in Douala, with a good quantity of drug and some weapons. Details in this report. These are drugs dealers and consumers. They were caught during one of their transactions and arrested by elements of the 8th Police District of Douala at about 3 a.m. at Earth. We're just strolling while awaiting the day to be more clearer. We met this boy. This is my first time I'm seeing him. I don't even know him, and I don't even know which type of drug he has. There is only one relation that exists between him and I. I am a consumer of cannabis and he is a vendor. He sells, I smoke. That is the only link we have. Apart from that, there is nothing else. At the arrival of the police, there were 5 in the total, but 2 ran into thin air. But the drugs and the weapons were found and seized. They arrived at about 3 a.m. and started searching. They asked me for weapons. I told them that I don't use a knife, that I work in the bush. My friend told them the same thing, and I don't even smoke. Element of the 8th Police District arrested them surprisingly during one of their search control, regularly organized in this neighborhood known for its high rate of criminality. The arrested gang, while awaiting trial, will remain under police custody. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya, will be today evening addressing the youth of Cameroon on the eve of the occasion of the celebration of the 50th edition of the National Youth Day. The traditional address by the head of state will be transmitted live on Canada English. It is worth noting that the theme of this year is youth, citizenship, and the fight against insecurity for the advent of an emerging Cameroon. As President Paul Biya will be addressing the nation this February 10, 2016, just what the head of state will tell the youth and just what the youth are expected to hear from the president. Kejan Harris says nothing out of the scope of employment will interest the youth, and this is his report.
Cameroon's President Paul Biya will address his young compatriots on February 10, 2016. This will be in consonance with his routine call for his young compatriots to believe in the government that is preparing an enabling environment for their emergence. Yes, President Biya will address the youths, and one thing which is certain is the issue of employment that he must address. The youths may not have much worry except that, and anything out of the scope of job provision is no news to the youths. In 2014, President Biya announced the creation of 350,000 jobs to close the unemployment gap. He buttressed his arguments on the ongoing projects across the country like Lompanga, Memveli, and to a lesser extent the Nachtigal. However, socio-economic critics hold that construction is not the only sector to provide jobs. And even if there are projects with specific durations. But other sectors like agriculture are open for the youth to venture. Again, the issue of land and funding impedes the youth. So just what President Biya will be telling them this time around.
Youth Day activities are ongoing in the political capital of Cameroon. Students of the government bilingual high school at Togebe have been drilled on the technical and scientific domain. The aim is to move from theory to practice. Details with Joel Dombu.
Diagrams, equations, current, Here we are in a technical and scientific fair, an environment not very common for students of the government bilingual high school, Etukebe, Yaoundé. This seminar falls in the register of youth day activities. Thus, they are given the opportunity to learn from experts, whose mission is to encourage them get involved in practical studies, which will prepare them for the job market. The expression on their faces tells it all. These students are interested in science and technology, as it takes them directly to the practical part of what they are taught in school.
L'idée de base derrière cette activité, c'est de dire aux enfants de terminale, ce n'est que la terminale.
The idea behind this activity is to tell all upper sixth students to stop theory and get closer to practice. We taught them how to conceive an electric network. We equally told them what to do in order to accomplish their dreams of being doctors, engineers and polytechnicians.
C'est-à-dire être médecin ou être ingénieur ou être polytechnicien.
All students of upper sixth gathered around this expert to kindly follow demonstrations which will add something new to their academic prowess. The working session was a great moment for youths who benefited from the technical assistance of this scientific association. Students of Government Bilingual High School Etukebe went home not only in happiness but with attestations of participation.
Still in line with celebration marking the 50th edition of the National Youth Day, students in Douala have been drilled on the challenges and opportunity in the aviation industry, a sector most unknown by many youth. Details in this report.
The aviation industry impacts the global economy by at least 2.5 trillion, registering 58.1 million jobs supported by aviation worldwide. Despite the opportunities, the sector is still unknown to many persons, especially Cameroonian youth.
We do have limited access to information regarding aviation-related job, etc. Aviation are not limited to Cameroon. The success of aviation in our country relies heavily on collaboration with all surrounding countries. You need to understand that all eyes now are focusing in Africa.
There is a great need in years to come, and we need to get more and more skilled people. So to meet up with this shortage of skilled workers in the future years to come, we believe that there is a great need to start from the niche to sensibilize youths in schools, tell them about what we have, because aviation covers all sectors, all other industries are in the aviation industry, from finance, HR, administration, before getting into the technical careers, which are maintenance, engineering, piloting, firefighter.
The Young African Aviation Professional Association is conscious of this problem. They have gathered youths to explain what the aviation industry is all about, daily challenges and opportunities.
The potential in Africa is huge. You could have seen the presentation made earlier by IATA representative, whereby the intertrade, the collaboration between African countries, are just about 14 to 13%, which is very, very, very low. 60% of the travel intercontinental are made by Occidental, Western airlines. In 2016, we are way behind the curve on this matter. Therefore, again, we need to foster the collaboration between African countries because we are dealing with the same challenges.
A majority of youth express a willingness to embrace the sector, but raise fears they might be blocked along the line. Aeronautic engineers and air traffic controllers present at the workshop was a booster for these children, many of whom dream to pick up a career in the aviation industry. The first edition of the African Youth Aviation Forum, YAFA, coincided with activities to mark the 50th anniversary of the National Youth Day celebration in Cameroon.
We now talk culture. Ivorian Coupé de Calais artist DJ Arafat is in Cameroon for a concert. The music icon arrived Douala yesterday night at about 3 a.m. at the international airport. DJ Arafat will be performing today in Douala and tomorrow, February 11, in Yaoundé. We now take you out of Cameroon precisely. More and more children in Ethiopia are victims of malnutrition. The country director has called on the international community to step up measures. Now otherwise, family will go for days without food. Details with Morindi.
The international community has just 3 weeks to provide $245 million in emergency fund aid to help prevent a potentially catastrophic escalation in severe acute malnutrition cases in drought-afflicted parts of Ethiopia from the end of April, when the main hungry season begins. Selema is a mother of one. Her child is suffering from malnutrition. My baby constantly has diarrhea, fever. She refuses to eat food I prepare. I've been to the hospital. They carried out several tests. The doctor results indicated my baby was suffering from severe malnutrition. I was sent to a dispensary. That is where I am presently. She has started treatment and she is getting better. The country director, John Graham, has pledged on the international community to react before February ending by providing food aid. He added it takes around 120 days to purchase and transport food into Ethiopia through Djibouti. More reason why they must step up now, otherwise children and families in dire need of assistance could simply not have any food from outside.
Sad indeed. We now take you to South Africa, where the opposition have launched a court battle to try to force President Jacob Zuma to pay back money he lavished on his private residence. They protested in front of a court in Johannesburg. Maureen D once more.
The two main opposition parties in South Africa Tuesday protested in front of the Constitutional Court in Johannesburg, where lawyers were obliging President Jacob Zuma to reimburse part of the 20 million euros government money spent to renovate his private residence in Kanla.
We want the President to comply with the remedial action of the Public Protector. We are here to say the President will have to pay back the money. We have said that the President will have his day in court, and many people never believed us.
Kanla village is now at the center of criticism, a bitter pill to swallow by Jacob Zuma. Musi Moina, parliamentary leader of the Democratic Alliance, described the spending on Zuma House as a poster of corruption.
We are here, we are going to march and make sure that President who so-called President Zuma, he must pay back the money.
Except the scandal was brought to limelight in 2014. We report disclosing his family had unduly benefited from work on his home, which includes a swimming pool, and recommended he repay some of the cash. Zuma supporters accused architects and contractors of inflating costs, while critics say the president must have been aware of what was happening in his home.
That was it for this edition of the news on Canada English. Thanks for watching. Happy New Day to all. Goodbye.